Coming here live inside Kingford Smith Park, Ballina, New South Wales. This is round 2 of the NRRRL. The Ballina Seagulls versus the Casino Cougars. The NRRRL is proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes. This telecast is being proudly presented to you by Mark Goff Media. It's a very good afternoon from Ballina. I'm Dwayne Neville. It's been a privilege once again to be here with you for NRRRL action. And of course, it is the first homecoming for the Manly Parramatta great Jamie Lyon. Joining me in the box again today, it's a privilege to have him once on board, the former coach for the Byron Bay Red Devils, Nathan Cross.
Afternoon, Dwayne, and afternoon to everyone out there watching on the live stream via our YouTube page. It's a beautiful afternoon here at Ballina, Sunday afternoon, and really looking forward to seeing how this Ballina team comes out today. It's a bit of a changing of the guard. A few players have vacated during the off-season, so looking forward to it, as we look like we're going to about to have a minute silence here.
That is correct. So we'll just take this opportunity for the minute silence, and then we'll have the team news.
Also, a member of the Ballina Surf Club. Raz unfortunately disappeared in the surf during the off-season, and so we have a moment of silence now in memory of his life. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's give you the tale of the tape between the two teams, between the Ballina Seagulls and the Casino Cougars. First for Ballina, at fullback we have Oliver Regan in his paired in the back line with Chad North. Kel Shiva, who is making his homecoming sorry, that is, in fact, I was mentioning Zach Beecher making his homecoming return. He is actually the dummy half. Kel Shiva is playing from centre. Michael Dwayne has moved into from lock to centre, and he's paired with his under-23s country teammate Reese Richards. Of course, as I mentioned, Jamie Lyon occupies 5'8". He's there pairing with Jess Perry. Phil Crosby and, as I mentioned, Zach Beecher, as well as Andrew Barrack are paired in the front lines. Anthony Coleman and Jack Durheim is in the second rows, and Daniel Johnson has been a late change off the bench to take the lock position. Hayden Hanson, Nicholas Ritter, and late additions Matt Crowhurst and Liam Anderson complete the extended bench. What do we need to know about Casino there, Crossy?
Yeah, the Cougars have had a bit of a change during the pre-season, and they welcome back an old player in Roy Bell, who's going to play halfback today. But from the back, we've got David Jackie at fullback. On the wings, Noah King and Denzel Dangerfield. The centre pairing is Brent Hall and Rodney Collins. As I mentioned, Roy Bell, he will play halfback with Trevor Bolt. They'll be an outstanding combination, those two. In the front row, Josh Beach and Nick Morrissey. Clyde Hickling is the hooker. The back row is a strong one. Michael Shipp and Theo Hippai, and Hayden Pratt will lock the scrum. Off the bench, Essie Tonga and Thomas Walker. Here we go.
And we're underway here in round 2 action between the Ballina Seagulls and Casino Cougars. It's Casino running right to left on your screen. And it was a nice big hit up there. And as you can see there, Jamie Lyon's already looking for action in the first play. In the tackle. Taken in the 10 metres. Nicely taken in the tackle there by Zach Beecher. For Ballina, they had a last start victory against Kygel, 40 points to 18, currently sitting in third after just one win. This is their first home game since that grand final that we can recall from last year, Crossy, 24-4, lost to the Tweed Coast Raiders. They finished the 2018 season in second with a 14-4 record, 28 points.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different team this year. I mean, there's still a lot of familiar faces for this Ballina outfit, but the key change is the number 6 in Jamie Lyon, the new captain coach, and it's strange to come here to Kingford Smith Park and not see Andrew Batiste or Dylan Montgomery.
I was just about to mention that. Andrew Batiste, of course, was their top try scorer and point scorer for last season. 18 tries, 87 points. He's now, both of those players are now playing for Byron Bay. So as we now take up action now, 30 metres out from the Ballina line. Nicely taken in the tackle there by Theo Hippai. Big hit up there by Phil Crosby.
I'm going to be interested to see how the Ballina middles here, the two front rowers in their lock, handle the absence of Montgomery. A lot of go forward there that they could play off the back of. But here we go. There's tackle 5.
So that was the taken up and the kick there by Jamie Lyon. And nice high bomb. I think that's well read in the tack there. I can't make out the number for the Casino play there, Crossy.
It might have been Jackie at the fullback.
Yeah, David Jackie. Nice run. Nicely taken up in the tackle there by Nicholas Ritter. Of course, Casino, they last up winners 24-18 against Mullumbimby in about 40-degree heat it was out at QE2 Park. It was that first round was absolutely an oven on the North Coast that day.
I'm excited to see the Cougars play this year, Dwayne. They're particularly with Roy Bell going back to Casino and playing alongside Trevor Bolt. I mean, Trevor Bolt's probably one of the best organising halves in the game in the NRRRL, and we know what Roy Bell can do on his day. So expect them to have a big season.
So you mentioned David Jackie there, who's one of the top try and point scorers with 13 tries, 52 points in last year's campaign. So that's Oliver Regan there taking in the tackle, 20 metres out from their own line. Of course, refereeing this match today is Josh Gollan. Backing up after yesterday, he was running a line for Byron Bay and Evans Head yesterday, Crossy.
He's a machine, Josh Gollan. He's probably the best ref in the comp, and he's backing up 2 days in a row. So
that was Shad North taken there, 40 metres out from the Ballina line. Nicely taken the tackle there by Clive Hickling. Clive Hickling, of course, he's come in from the Group 9, played his football last year for Group 19. So this is 5th and last. This is going to be Lyon. Nice little run there by Jamie Lyon. It's basketball passes. Oh, little pick up and a kick there by Nicholas Ritter. This will be now David Jackie to take it. Nice run to get it to 20 metres out.
Yeah, we could see there, Dwayne, the marker was very positive, trying to get some good kick pressure there on Jamie Lyon, and too smart Jamie Lyon stepped inside and didn't get the kick away, but he showed early what he can do.
So Ballina, they came into last year, they scored 38 or more in 11 games last season. 6 of those games were 50 or more, so they'll be looking to continue that. They've already had a 40-10 victory over Kyogle, won 13 games straight before their grand final loss against Tweed Coast. Their last loss in that campaign came against Murwillumbah on the 20th of May. So basically only one loss in nearly a year of football. This is Oliver Regan, and Josh Gollan there has called the penalty. Called him for offside there, Crossy.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot in that. I thought, Trevor Bolt kicked it sort of one off the ruck, so you'd be pretty annoyed with his outside men there. There's no reason for them to be offside. Really keen to see how this Ballina side gets forward today. I mean, we know they can score points. They showed that in round 1, but they've got to earn the right to do that. And obviously, everyone's looking towards Jamie Lyon, but yeah, I'd like to see Oliver Regan with a bit of space, backing up his big forwards through the middle.
So Casino, they won their first 7 games of last year.
Good offload from Ritter.
Nicely taken in the tackle there on the halfway line. So last time these two teams played, it was 46-16 win to Ballina in Ballina. Casino only winning once in Ballina since 2011, so they'll have to break some history to get the points today.
Yeah, that's not a very flattering record, is it? But, I mean, if they're going to do it, today's a good day with Roy Bell coming back and some good key forwards. They just have to stay in this contest early.
So it's on the 30 metres now. That is taken there by Chad North. Through their hands now, Jess Perry. Nicely taken the tackle there by Josh Beach. Ballina looking a bit more prominent in attack at this stage. This is Jamie Lyon, cut out pass across into the hands. That is, I believe that's Michael Dwayne. I'll just confirm it to see if he's wearing, I think he's wearing, no, he's wearing different colour boots again, Michael Dwayne.
Cross kick here from Lyon.
Nice kick from Lyon, and it's just missed the hands. It's got it. Oh, that was well taken there in attack by Casino, and they've done well to just keep it out of the dead ball line.
Well, they haven't. That was enterprising play from Ballina. One thing I've noticed earlier here from the Cougars, their right edge is very keen to get up and in and shut it down. And Roy Bell likes to use his speed and just to get into the attack, the line of the attack. So Jamie Lyon went over the top. Dwayne found some space down the left edge, but couldn't quite get across the line.
Ballina doing well in defence just to keep it inside there. Casino 20 metres. And through the hands, nicely taking the tackle there. That's Anthony Coleman involved there. So this is 5th and last now. Casino getting about 30 metres off that set of 6. Kick goes up. It's Reece Rich is going to have to do, well, it's going to go into the hands. Oh, that looked a bit high for me. And Josh Golan has acknowledged it. That was basically just a big jump in the tackle there, Crossy.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. That was Dangerfield there for the Cougars. I mean, Sheila was sort of falling into it, but it did show the strength of that breeze, that nor'easter that's sort of coming through here. I mean, Roy Bell's one of the best kickers of the football, and yeah, really struggled to get out of their own end then, the Cougars.
This has been now Zach Beach now to play it 30 metres out into the hands there of, that's Nicholas Ritter. 30 out. That's Daniel Johnson. They have it now 20 metres out from the casino line. They're going for the left side play. That's Jess Perry, little dummy pass. It's crunched there in the tackle by Michael Shipp. So this will be fourth phase of play. They've opted for the short side. This is Oliver Regan. He was very keen on the gap, but I think he's just lost that in the tackle there, Oliver Regan. And there he goes. Josh Golan acknowledges. So Casino will have a 10-metre scrum feed from their own line.
Yeah, they really showed their hand, as I mentioned a moment ago, that Casino Cougars right edge with rushing up. They feel threatened by the Ballina attack, and I think if I was Ballina, I'd be looking to play Anthony Coleman as a lead runner, probably into Roy Bell there, make him make a one-on-one tackle and then keep ducking around that short side. I think they'll have plenty of joy there.
So you can see there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, if you just joined, it's just early days. It's 0-0 between Ballina Seagulls and Casino Cougars. So play resumes now, 20 metres out through the hands. And just to, if you're watching from Casino and out that way, just apologies where obviously the screens from where we're seeing from, we can only get the front of the players. We're trying to acknowledge the players from the back. It's just a bit hard from where we're seeing, so we'll do our best for you. So, oh, and that was spilt 20 metres out from their own line. So Ballina will have a handy set of 6 deep inside the Casino half.
That's a shame there for the Cougars. That was Shipp to come up with the error, but it was nice play from Hickling. He jumped out, took the markers with him, and rolled his big back rower under. And I'll tell you what, if he hangs on to that football, there's a bit of joy to be had through that middle third for the Seagulls there. So I'd like to see Dave Jackie really pushing up in support there. I think the Cougars can have a bit of joy if they persist with that.
So Ballina will have a set of 6, about 20 metres away from the Casino line. Jamie Lyon will play it. So that goes through the hands of Jess Perry. That's going to be now Anthony Coleman. He'll be looking for another big campaign after a successful season with the under-23s countryside last year. That was Michael Dwayne with the hit up. He's just come back from under-23s junior. Unable to go back-to-back in country campaigns. That was won by the Warrior South Coast yesterday. That's through the hands of Jamie Lyon. Cross their hands. They're looking for a right side play. This is going to be Reece. Sorry, that's
Sheeva.
That's Kel Sheeva. This will be played out now by Zach Beecher. They've gone for the short side. This is Lyon. Brings it back in left. Into the hands of Sheeva again. This will be third phase. That's Beecher. Daniel Johnson was keen to just go into the sticks, but a heavy contingent of Casino defence holds him back. This is fifth and last. This will be now, that's Jess Perry for the kick. And, oh, it's going to be Chad North, but I think that's come off the hands there of Rodney Collins there, Grossi.
Yeah, let's have a look at what Josh Golan rules here. It did appear to come off the winger there, or the centre rather, of the Cougars. So they're going to have to withstand another set of 6 here from the Seagulls. And at the moment, again, Dwayne, you alluded to, we're sort of a fair way away from identifying the Cougars, but already their line looks a little bit disjointed. We see Jamie Lyon come down a short side and play back through the middle, and it was scrambling defence from the Cougars. Good hands there from Sheeva.
So now this will be now played by Phil Cosby. This will be now played by Zach Beecher into the hands now of Nicholas Ritter. This is now going to be, that's Daniel Johnson. He's held up about 10 metres short. Ballina they seem to be knocking on that Casino defensive line. That's Jess Perry. He too is part of that country under-23s squad. It's been a busy month for those under-23 lads. And Kenny going to the post, just not going to get there on this occasion. They have an option for either side that you can see there cross. You can't really see it on the screen, but the deep left side play. This is Perry into the hands of Oliver Regan. And if he gets a pass, they might even get some points from it. And it's looking good for the Ballina Seagulls, and it is good. That is, I believe, to be Chad North there, Crossy.
North over in the corner from a good long pass there from Regan. And that had to come. I mentioned a couple of times now, that right edge for the Cougars, they just seem short all the time. And where that actually starts from, that starts all the way across the other side of the field. The threat of Jamie Lyon on the other side, Casino they're overloading that edge. They're putting one extra defender there, which means they're going to be short on their other side. And we've seen that time and time again. So they really need to fix that up.
So Chad North has added the first points for the Ballina Seagulls here at Kingford Smith Park in Ballina. So it is Ballina 4, Casino Cougars 0. As you can see there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, 4 points to 0 Ballina Seagulls over the Casino Cougars.
And Dwayne, I'm really keen to see the Cougars, just get back on track here, hold the ball, get to their, get some field position. We know with Roy Bell's kicking game, they can play field position with his very good kicking game. So get down here, get some good ball and get some repeat sets like the Ballina team have done, because we know that the Cougars have got enough footy in them to really match it with the Seagulls here today. But unfortunately for them at the moment, they're coming up with too many errors.
And as you can see there on your screens, that is Jamie Lyon, who is playing his first game in Ballina colours. He's been a part of the Ballina community in the last 4 or 5 years. Just finishing playing his football for the Manly Seagulls. Sorry, Sea Eagles.
You back him in?
You would. There's not much of a breeze. The kick is good. It is good. Well kicked there by Jamie Lyon. Dust now making the score 6-0.
Touchies did not move. And obviously Killer's been practicing his goal kicking during the off-season amongst playing golf 3 times a week. That he tells everyone he only plays once a month. He plays about 3 times a week. So he's obviously been practicing his kicking as well.
I wonder if he knows Jeff Link from Parkway Drive. He goes on the golf course as well.
He would know anyone that plays a lot of golf.
So Chad North being the try scorer, he played his junior footy for the Southern Eastern Seagulls.
Okay.
Yeah, so played his junior footy, and of course Jamie Lyon he's come in with quite the pedigree. He's been Daly Amp Centre of the Year 2010, 2011, 13 and 14. In his 359 game career, he's scored 168 tries, 739 goals. Played for Parramatta from 2000 to 2004, 36 tries in 70 games. Played for St Helens. Of course, he played most of his footy for Manly, 226 games, 86 tries. Country Origin rep, and played 10 games for New South Wales and 8 games for the Australian Kangaroos.
Good ball from Ritter.
What a pedigree.
Yeah, there's pretty much nothing he hasn't done, Jamie. He's actually quite a big deal in England. Like, he was a man of steel over there for St Helens. They go left.
Yeah, that's a cut-out pass going in the hands of Michael Dwayne. Very unlucky to not get in the try-scoring column for this year's campaign in the country reps. He had 7 tries last year, Crossy, and he was basically held to a duck egg in the try-scoring in this campaign.
Oh, that's a really poor option there. I think it might have been Beecher. Jamie Lyon had come all the way from his right edge over to the left to create an overlap, and Beecher threw the dummy and kicked it. But anyway, now it's the Cougars' chance. They've got 7 tackles. Let's see what they can do.
So, coming into this one for last season for the Casino Cougars, only on one occasion when they did have to win, that they need not to score 30 or more points. So basically, that tells you that if they're going to beat Ballina today, they're going to need 30 or more points.
Well, they've got it in them, particularly with the addition of Roy Bell that I've touched on. And Trevor Bolt from Iron was one of the best halves in the game last year. So, and now with some of these young forwards for the Cougars, another season under their belt, they're a big chance here this afternoon.
So Casino, let's see what they can do inside the Ballina half a field. This is now the 5th and last. They're inside the 40. This is going to be kicked now by Trevor Bolt. Nice high kick by Trevor Bolt. He has Theo Hippie on his left, and nicely taken there by David Jack. If he's going to score, it's going to be hitting that for me. Looked a little bit late. And Reece Rich is going to be well held up deep inside their own half. But for me, Crossy, I think David Jackie was taken off the ball there.
Yeah, well, quite possibly. But, I mean, I think it was going to be 6 to go, wasn't it? So it's a relief that they've actually got a repeat set there. But there you go. I mean, it goes to show Ballina potentially scoring that left corner if the ball lands in the hands of Jamie Lyon. But here we go. Casino march 100 metres and got a repeat set.
So this will be now a restart now for Ballina, and that's gone about just shy of 40 metres on the fly. Well taken there by Trevor Bolt. Nicely hit up there, but you can see Kel Sheev and Reece Richards getting involved in the tackle there.
That was a good charge from Big Beach.
Yeah, Josh Beach that was. going to be played now by Clyde Hickling. That is Theo Hippie.
Just have a look at Theo. I've had a bit to do with him coming through the grades, and he's trimmed down a lot. He's lost a bit of weight, Theo.
That's Hayden Pratt, another one of those country playing in the country championships as of late. Hickling through the hands of Bolt. That's gone into Bell, and nice run to get it inside 10. So now it's Casino's turn to go on the attack. Let's see what they can do. This is going out for Michael Shipp. Just shy of the line there. Ballina defence is holding up well. And there's a deep side play there from Casino. They'll go through it as many sets of hands as they can. That's to be Trevor Bolt, nicely taken the kick, and there's forced a mistake. Well played there by the Casino Cougars.
Yep. Hats off to the Cougars, and I love the shape they throw, and I love to see the two halves passing to each other. They've both got extremely good passing games, and you can see the width of the pass initially to get to the right edge from Bolt, and then they got to that far side, made a good one-on-one tackle over there, and then they came back. They basically can go pass, and go half the width of the field. So they're really going to test the Seagulls here.
So this will be played now 10 metres out away from the Ballina line. This will be Trevor Bolt to play it. Trust you're enjoying the coverage wherever you may be watching. Let us know where you're watching from. This is all, as you can see on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, 6 points to nil if you just joined us. It's good to have Ladbrokes as our major sponsor for the NRRRL this year and for the live stream.
Fantastic to have them on board. It's much needed for country football.
Exactly. This is going to be Rodney Collins to run it deep inside. It's going to answer Noah King. And Casino about to make their first interchange. It's going to be Saki Tonga coming on for the Cougars.
Big Essie Tonga, he will make a mark. Hopefully he's nice and fit, Essie, and do some damage through the middle.
It's going to be now through the hands of Jackie. That's going to be now Roy Bell. And he was half in two minds there. That looked like he wanted to spread it through the hands, but he's opted to play the safe option. That's Trevor Bolt. That's Theo Hippie. It's fifth and last. Now Casino, they won't get too many. Ballina won't allow them to have too many chances down this end. They want to make the most of it. That's a great kick, and that's going right into the hands. They've well taken off that kick, and I believe that to be, I think that's Noah King that scored that there, Crossy.
What a kick. There you go. I mean,
absolute peach of a kick there from Trevor Bolt.
Trevor Bolt. It's pretty much on a 5-cent piece, that kick. I mean, we're in a good position here in the commentary box, Dwayne, to see where that needed to go, and he just put it on the spot. The Ballina winger was just posted with no sort of momentum, and the Casino winger, Noah King, had all the momentum there and took the catch and gets him back on track. 4 points.
So it's game back on here at Kingford Smith Park in Ballina. It is the Ballina Seagulls 6, Casino Cougars 4, kick to come.
And just before we got to that, Dwayne, we saw Roy Bell sort of drift across field, show someone under, and then the play sort of broke down. But if his back rower Shipp had kept pushing through that line and he could find his other halves partner in Trevor Bolt, they actually did create some numbers there. So the Cougars, let's hope they've got their tails up here. They really, for mine, their biggest issues thus far has been obviously controlling that ball and coming out of their own end. They don't quite have the physicality of this Ballina side, so they probably need to get some speed men in there early, take some pressure off their forwards, and because we know that Roy Bell or Trevor Bolt will get a good kick away, but they need to put him in position. Yeah.
So is that going to be Roy Bell there taking the kick there, Crossy?
I'd say so, and if you can see, he's back on the 30, so he kicks the ball well.
I recall doing a game of his when he was in Mullumbimby colours last year for the final series, and he was hitting him all day.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, I've coached against Roy for a number of years, and anytime he was lining it up, he just jotted down as two points, unfortunately.
And there's not much of a breeze here off the Missingham Bridge, which is in just over the other side of the field there. So breeze should not be a factor. Let's see how he goes here, Roy Bell. And it's got the distance. It's looking good, and I think we put the commentator's curse on him there a bit, Crossy.
We did, and did you notice just that gust of breeze come up just after he kicked it? It sort of pushed it away.
It's been an interesting day. It's basically, summer it wasn't as bad as 2 weeks ago in Lismore when we were featuring the match day out there, but it's still a little bit, we're probably looking at about high 20s today, but give it a couple of weeks and it'll be nice and cool. We'll be in jackets before you know it.
Yeah. I look forward to that. I'm a bit over the humidity.
Yeah, that game between Morris Brothers and Coogin last week, they didn't even finish the game. About 15 minutes left to go in that game. The result was, both teams agreed to call it time. But And then I was in Foster Tarkari last week for the country championships, calling down there, and it was just barely went over 20 degrees. So,
and we've got this out on the full.
And as you can see there, that's Ballina just need to get their heads back into this game. They're making some silly errors for me there, Crossy. It was sort of a reminder which kind of crept in during last year's grand final.
Absolutely, and I think even the first part of this game has shown, Ballina, a couple of repeat sets, got a try, and then now Casino, a couple of repeat sets, try. It's all about possession.
In all fairness, for the majority of this Ballina team, they've got a lot of these young players backing up from the under-23s who just last week had to travel to Woy Woy, and then they had some travel out at Armidale, and then so they've had a few more games than some of these. Well, Casino's got a couple of players too, so it's kind of maybe levelled out in that regard. So. But nevertheless, it's game back on here at Ballina, 6 points to 4 if you just join us in favour of the Seagulls. So they're playing a deep side play on the second phase. That's gone through the hands of Theo Hippo.
Gee, that's a good tackle from Reece Richards. It had to be made.
This will be Brent Scott Hall playing it now from dummy half. That's Michael Shipp, one of those under-23s representatives.
You get a quick play the ball. They'll have some joy on the short side here.
So this is now fifth and last is Clive Hickling. Pass was a little bit of a sloppy one, but it was well collected there by Trevor Bolt.
Oh, numbers.
He might be able to make something from. There's numbers on the right there if they can get some hands through it. I don't think they're even. Oh dear.
That was phenomenal. Essie Tonga was over the line, and there was a one-on-one steal in the art of making or scoring a try rather, and that was a huge effort. Was that your man, Michael Dwayne?
I think so, and well responded to defence there by the Casino Cougars to force the line drop out. Now for me there, Crossy, you think that Tonga he had about 2 players there he could have worked from, and I just think he kind of trusted himself there, and he almost came close.
Yeah, well, you'd back him 9 times out of 10, wouldn't you, with the size of him and against probably a smaller opponent over there. But Michael Dwayne did a great job, although Ballina, they've then been pushed back into their own end goal. So they're going to have a dropout here, and Casino really starting to hit their straps.
That was well restarted there by the Ballina Seagulls to get it about 55 metres on the fly. Nicely tackling the tackle there by Zach Beecher, who himself is making a bit of a homecoming. This is his first home game, returning back for the Ballina Seagulls.
Was he playing rugby for the Lennox Trojans last year?
I'm just going to bring up a bit of a profile up on him, Crossy. So I think he was playing a bit of football out at I think he was playing a bit of football down in Newcastle. It's the central Newcastle, wherever. I've just got the profile here on him. Played Sarah Connell Cup, Mel Meninga for the Gold Coast. He was New South Wales Country Bulls rep. He went on that tour in 2016 to WA.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He obviously son of Maxi, a legend of the club here, Maxi Beecher. So good to see him back.
Sorry, he's got 1 try in this campaign against Kyogle 2 weeks ago. And kick across the cup. There's numbers on there, and oh dear, it was about 1 or 2 bounces too deep. Casino are really hitting their straps.
Gee, that was a really near miss there for the Cougars, wasn't it? And we saw it when the tides turned in the first part. Has he pulled that back? No. When Ballina kicked it dead and Casino went 100 metres. So let's see what Ballina can do with this now.
I was just going to also say about Zach Beecher. He's also scored 2 tries against the Greater Northern Tigers in that under-23s campaign. And let's see what's been called here by Josh Golan. Now this has sort of reminded me a little bit about the Andrew Johns Cup final from yesterday between the Western Rams and Northern Rivers. It was just a bit of errors well, mainly from Ballina, but it was just an error-filled game, and it's just Ballina's failing to get to their set of 6 there, Crossy.
Yeah, and again, we see Roy Bell racing out of the line to put pressure on. On that occasion, it worked, but it just goes to show that they're under enormous threat out there, that they're short numbers all the time. So if I'm Ballina, I'm looking to play an early tip on and get outside that 3-man of Roy Bell.
And of course, as you mentioned at the start of this game, they are missing some key personnel, like the likes of Dylan Montgomery and of course Andrew Batiste, and that was knocked on there by Brent Scott Hall. He's handed that right back in for the Ballina Seagulls.
Oh, it's a shame for the Cougars. They live and die by the sword, and Jackie just put a beautiful pass there. He was tackled simultaneously there, the centre, but wasn't to be, and now the Seagulls.
So this is Reece Richards taken down 30 metres out from the Ballina line. This is now, I think that's taken up there by Nicholas Ritter. And
yeah, that's Ritter. And
so what's happened here? I thought that might have been just another hit of a knock-on, but I think they're going to get the benefit of the doubt there from Josh Golan.
Ritter tried to offload it there, and if there's numbers around the ball, they're away. But Didn't go to hand.
And Josh Golden there is going to tell him to restart play. So this will be the third phase. And you probably can't just see, or you probably can now on your screens there. There was just a bit of a deep side play set up early there for the Seagulls. Through the hands, going into the hands now of Durheim.
And that was a really good play, the ball there from, was it Hansen for the Seagulls?
Yeah, I believe so. That was Zach Beecher that's played it now into the hands of Nicholas Ritter. This is fifth and last, so it's 30 metres out from the casino line. This is Jeff Perry with the kick across over the heads. Well collected there in defence.
Yeah, that's not really the play from Perry at the moment. Particularly they've been under all sorts of pressure.
And they're giving away a penalty, Ballina. So as well as a few handling errors there across, there's a bit of ill discipline too, just giving Casino every chance. As we can see here, that's if you give Casino a chance inside your opposition half at your peril. So play restarts now. This will be the second phase of play. Nicely taken the tackle there by Nicholas Ritter.
Is that Jackie doing hit-ups there? Yeah, good carry by the fullback.
He's having a bit of an all-rounded game today, David Jackie. And Casino's protesting for potential penalty. They won't get the penalty, but I think they're going to... No, they're going to... Josh Golden says it's going to tell them it's a knock-on.
Well, at the moment, I think the team that's going to win this game is the team that can hold on to the football for extended periods. It's really tit for tat here as far as errors go, and
exactly.
No one can really gain the ascendancy.
As you can see there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, 6 points to 4. Ballina Seagulls over the Casino RSM Cougars here at Kingsford Smith Park here in Ballina.
And a good crowd in Duano Sunday afternoon where the stands where we are. It's like it's chock-a-block.
It's
and
not as loud as it was on that grand final day when we called that together between Ballina and Tweed Coast.
No, that was a ripping day. Not if you're a Ballina fan, but just for a rugby league follower. But obviously a lot of people here to see Jamie Lyon's first home appearance.
So I feel for me, Crossy, if Ballina could just get to their set of 6 and just play disciplined footy, the rest will take care of itself. Thus far, it's not really coming to their fruition and just keeping Casino into this game. So this is going for that's a nice pass there. But Roy Bell cut out pass. It's going into the hands of Noah King.
Oh, I would have liked to have seen the centre there. Was that Brent Hall? Was that Collins
I think Brent Hall's playing on the side closest to us here, Crossy.
Collins. I would have liked to see Collins sort of take on his centre and try to get his Noah King away down that sideline there.
So Casino have done well to get inside the Ballina half and field, 40 metres out. So I believe this will be it's going to be the fourth phase. And they're set very deep here. You can't see it on the screen here, but they're set very deep here. So they've gone for the kick himself. Oh, that was a late hit. Surely it was a late hit. But I think Josh Golden's allowing to play advantage. And that was David Jackie. So that is fifth and last. Ballina a little bit 6 and 7s in defence. This will be going to the hands of Trevor Bolt. Kick across field. He's trying to get that into the hands of Theo Hippie. That's been hit back. That's going to be 6 more. I don't think Jamie Lyon needed to do that, Crossy.
No, well, he found himself on the wing there, Killer. I don't know why, but anyway, 6 to go.
So this is going to be now taken by Trevor Bolt. 10 metres out from the
short side. Casino need to come short side here. There's the numbers.
He's got Brent Scott Halls at his disposal, but it's gone into the hands. That is Hayden Pratt. So either option for Casino. They opt to go right into the hands of Ship. And this is a nice barraging run. Casino going to hit the front. Nice barrage run. That is a Selkie Tonga. And he's got Casino up. 8 points to 6 kick to come.
There you go, Essie Tonga. He thought he had one probably 10 minutes ago and he came up with an error, and then he had another carry and he come up with another error. So he'd be really pleased to be able to provide 4 points, which will be turned into 6 shortly. And looks like he might have hurt his shoulder there, Tonga.
That was a solid run. We could heard the impact here up on the commentary box.
But once again, it comes down to possession.
Exactly. So, and for me, it's like you take nothing away from the Casino Cougars this day. They've done what they needed to do in the position they are. But the reason they're in those positions, to be fair, is I think Ballina just aren't switched on. That just is what it is.
It is what it is, and they'll be really keen just to get to a kick here, the Seagulls, and try to keep Casino down their end.
And then you look at Jamie Lyon. That you think that yes, the Casino probably would have got the catch, but there was about 3 or 4 players on that left side that would have held it. I think that would have been the fifth and last, of course. It would have held them up, and they would have been in possession at this very minute.
So now we have Roy Bell to take a shot from in front to put them out to 10-6. And I'm not sure, we don't have a clock, do we, Dwayne?
No, we don't.
Not sure how long before half time, but Casino are into this bit of a breeze. And in the second half, with the kicking game of Bolt and Bell, they'll be able to play field position. Their prospects are quite strong for this game.
Nice deep kick there by Roy Bell to add the extras. Now it's 10 points to 6. The Casino Cougars over the Ballina Seagulls here in Ballina, as you can see there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard. Of course, Ladbrokes, as I mentioned, are the major sponsors for the NRRRL for season 2019. You're watching this coverage on MGM Sports.
Shaping up as a good competition this year, isn't it? You know, I mean, we've got the premiers from last year, Tweed Coast, that generally have got the same squad, although young Tane Robinson's playing up for Tweed Seagulls.
Yeah, that's correct. He's playing up Q Cup now, so they're missing it. And I believe I was told by a couple of sources, though, they had, in their game against Northern United, they had I forget which brother, but one of them is Lanston brother had a pretty nasty knee injury.
That's a shame.
I think it was Drew Lanston, but don't quote me. Whoever it is, he's basically looking at a season out.
Yeah, well, that's a tragedy because they had a big season last year, the Lanston brothers. So best wishes to one of those boys if that is the case. And of course,
if our offside Kevin Ferrugia is watching, if you could confirm that for us, because he.
And of course, Byron Bay are really looking strong with some good signings
Todd
over
Carney.
with Carney. You know, it's a big signing. So
and you got Andrew Batiste and Dylan Montgomery picked up from Ballina from last year's squad, and a bit of a sloppy pick up there, I believe, to be from Rodney Collins. He's done well to get rid of it. He's going to get rid of it himself there, Rodney Collins. And I think Casino just need to get it to their. Well, that's the fifth and last. So that was potentially another late hit. You probably couldn't see it there on the screens here.
It's gone to Tonga.
It's going to be played on. That might even be played out again. That is 6 more. What is it? And I think they've just thrown a perfect opportunity away, the Casino Cougars. They probably didn't realise that was 6 more.
It's great to watch, isn't it?
Oh, geez.
Roy Bell, he loves to chip and chase, and he generally gets the bounce, and he had players around the ball, and I think it was Collins out there who ended up with it, but it couldn't keep going to hand in the end.
Ballina, without a shadow of a doubt, that crossy was let off the hook. So that's going to be played for the hands by Zach Beecher. So they're about 30 metres out from their own line. This will be third phase, and
So they played on the mark, I think.
Yeah, that's true. This will be played at now by Liam.
And I think if I'm Jamie Lyon here, I'm just trying to get a middle forward to have a good carry and get a quick play of the ball, and even look for a 40-20 here because they've got that breeze and they really need to play some field position.
So this is now going to be, I think that's to be Michael Dwayne. We'll confirm that with the colour boots he's wearing there. One orange, one black. Yep, that's certainly him. Nicely kicked there by Jamie Lyon.
And let that bounce.
It's going to let that bounce. That was it. I think that Kel Sheep was taking off the ball for me a bit there. Crossy. I think that from both teams have been guilty from maybe just a little bit of late hits, but I think Josh Gollan's allowing it to play on.
Nevertheless, it's probably Ballina's best result as far as the set of 6 goes for 10 minutes or so. Casino now tackle 2 on their own sort of 10-metre line, so let's see how they go out of their own end.
So nicely taken there, the tackle there by Hayden Hansen. And I think he's just been had the wind knocked out of his sails there, Crossy.
Oh, they got numbers here.
And they have got numbers on the left. That tackle needed to be made, but they're still not out of trouble yet. The Ballina Seagulls and Jamie Lyon has forced the ball. Josh Gollan's not allowing that to be played at.
I think they're a bit stiff there, the Seagulls. But anyway, now the Cougars are going to have. It's just been marred by errors and penalties this game, hasn't it?
So Casino will have a set of 6 deep. I think this is going to be now found not quite in the Ballina half of field, but about 5 metres out from the halfway line. Sound going to be taken up. Nicely taken there in defence there, Phil Cosby.
Was on the mark, I believe, Dwayne. It's going for a restart.
Okay, so they'll have it about 10 metres out from the Casino line. Play resumes. Nicely tackled there by Jack Durheim. And it well responded, equally well responded there by Phil Cosby. So Casino will have about 4 phases inside Ballina's half. Every time Casino's been there, Sanders look dangerous. That for me was ducked into the tackle. I don't think there's going to be any malice in that one there, Crossy.
Yeah, I thought that was okay. It was across the shoulder and he was slipping.
Dive through the hands on the left side. Nicely taken in the tackle there by Jack Durheim. So
Here's Jackie. Yeah, he's everywhere, Jackie.
Third phase. Goes through the hands of Clive Hickling. That's Roy Bell. Brings it back in. Then Casino there, been given some space.
Ballina are really poor through the middle at the moment. They're 6s and 7s.
There's a deep left side play. Oh, it's interesting. He decided to go right there, Crossy. That's Roy Bell. Into the hands now of Rodney Collins. And I think Casino's literally just thrown that one away.
Well, what the early wide passing from Bolt and Bell, what it's done, it's really stretched Ballina's line. So now the space or the potential joy for Casino is through that middle. So what I'd like to see Roy Bell sort of drift across, turn one of his back rows under and have Jackie coming through that middle. And I think there's plenty of space to be had there, but they're just missing one player.
And as you can see there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, there reads 10 points to 6 Casino over the Ballina Seagulls. Crossy?
And it's been a good game at times, but there's been too many errors.
As play resumes now, 20 metres out from their own line. Nicely taken in defence there of the Casino Cougars. That's Jamie Lyon into the hands of Reece Riches. And well read in defence there by Trevor Bolt. This will be Jamie Lyon now to play from dummy half. I think that's Anthony Coleman there, Crossy.
That might be Crosby, is it?
Yeah, Phil Crosby. This will be now played out by Zach Beecher.
Well, that's a good run.
So that is Hayden Hanson. Gets the Seagulls about 10 metres further up the field. This will be 4 phase. That's Beecher. And
Coleman.
They're really relying on that left side for me there, Crossy. They must like something in it, and it's going to show. And he's just handed that back over. That has just been the story of the Ballina Seagulls half there, Crossy. They're just not getting their sets of 6, and they really need to at this point of the game.
Yeah, it's like they're playing catch-up football already, even though they're only trailed by 4 points, and we still are in the first half. A bit out of character for Coleman there. Very strong runner, as we saw, but probably didn't need to push that pass.
It's sort of a bit of a history lesson for that, as I mentioned, that grand final from last year. They just went into panic mode too early when they really didn't need to, and it's starting to creep in a bit here today. So,
well, I think Jamie Lyon at half-time, he'll just be talking about completions, and basically at the moment they're not giving themselves a chance.
I'm not sure if that was played at Crossy. I don't think it was. I think he just used his shoulder to divert it. Josh Golden has acknowledged 6 more.
Yeah,
I think that's a bit stiff there for. That was a bit stiff there for the Ballina Seagulls for me.
Oh, and there's Jackie again, nearly went through. Yeah, stiff call on the Seagulls there, but that's the way it's fallen. And now Casino come through ship.
Yeah, I just think he was just trying to get his way away from the ball, but nevertheless, as we will be. So that's nicely taken up there. He was almost going for a line split.
And a great play the ball from Hippo. Here they go.
That's Clive Hickling there. And so this will be the last play before half-time. This is going to be Trevor Bolt. He beats 1, beats 2, Trevor Bolt. Crick just makes the kick, but it's going to be well taken over the dead ball line by Oliver Regan. And that's going to be all she wrote for the first half. So, Crossy, what do Ballina need to do to get themselves back in this game?
Well, I touched on it a moment ago. I think if I'm Jamie Lyon, I'm literally talking about building some confidence by completing our sets, getting to our kicks and playing some field position. Now, they're into this breeze in the second half, so they really need their big men to sort of get them forward, get them over halfway, and let Jamie sort of kick into corners and play field position. Because as we've seen, Dwayne, one thing the Cougars aren't great at based on today is coming out of their own end. They're good when they're down in good ball and they have a weight of possession, but carrying out of trouble from their own end isn't their game. So if I'm Jamie Lyon, that's what I'm saying. If I'm the other side of the fence, if I'm the Cougars, well, I'm really happy. And it's showing now, like through weight of possession, they're starting to make some real inroads through this Ballina team.
Yeah. So as you can see there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, it's half-time here at Kingford Smith Park here in Ballina. It is the Ballina Seagulls 6, the Casino RSM Cougars 10. We'll be going to be back with you in about 10 minutes for the second half of action.
First of all, our main sponsor Cherry Street Butchering.
Dwayne Neville and Nathan Cross back with you at Kingford Smith Park here in Ballina for round 2 NRRRL action. Of course, the NRRRL is proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes. As you can see there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, it is 10 points to 6 in favour of the Casino Cougars over the Ballina Seagulls. So as I said to you at the beginning of the half there, Crossy, what did Ballina really need to do to get back into this game? They're only 4 points down, mind you, but at the way they're playing, you'd think the scores would be more swinging in the favour of Casino.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they'll be disappointed with that half, but as you allude to, they're still only 4 points behind. Look, I think the biggest thing that Captain Coach Jamie Lyon would have said to them at half-time is, let's start this second half well. A lot of coaches talk about completing your first 6 sets. So I think their first 6 sets in possession here, they really want to complete them, get to their kick, play field position, and just build some confidence off the back of it.
As you can see in the background there, he is a familiar face on running the line there, Crossy.
The great Pencil. Look at him.
Pencil. He's come out of retirement.
He's been around a long time. He's a great man, Pencil.
I think they've nicknamed him John Farnham coming out of retirement that many times. Johnny Farnham.
Here we go.
As we're back to the serious stuff now, second half of action's just underway. And well taken there by Jamie Lyon. And I believe this would be Anthony Coleman there taking the first hit up. So Ballina, they, as you just mentioned there, Crossy, they just need to calm things down and just play their set of 6, and the rest will take care of themselves. So
yeah, and that was a really strong carry play too there. It might have been, I'm not sure who that was there actually. It could have been Dwayne, was it? No.
The boots are neutral there, Crossy, so it wasn't Michael Dwayne. And nicely taken the tackle there by Roy Bell. And he had some help there from, I believe that to be, I can't make a number there, Crossy. I think that was Thomas Walker. Don't quote me on it. Nicely taken the tackle there. That was Clive Hickling. Jamie Lyon sends that one up.
You can see that hold up in the breeze. This could bounce here.
Oh, it does, but it's going away from the Ballina Seagulls. This is going to now be a foot race for it. That had to be taken out there by, I can't make, who was that? There, Crossy, that was David Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie, he's just everywhere for the Cougars. I think having said that, he really needs to get to those balls on the full. I mean, it held up in the breeze as I called. Let it bounce. Someone put it on the toe, and then Ballina a little bit fortunate there because I think young Sheether was in front of the kicker. So whilst it's a dropout, it could easily have been a Cougars penalty.
So this is what Ballina needs to do to get started in this second half, to just force some pressure and start a set of 6, preferably deep inside the Casino half of field.
Well, you put that down. That's completion 1 from 1.
Let's see how they go on this play. So they're going to have it well deep inside the Casino half and about 30 metres away from their line. Quite nice play from dummy from Zach Beecher. They were looking to him for some attacking prowess. And, geez, it's not happening for him today, Crossy. It's just not.
It looked so... it was what could have been there for Ballina. They went down a short side with Lyon, and just his class, the ball in 2 hands, just flicked it onto his outside man. But unfortunately, it went astray. And what was that, tackle 2?
Tackle 2. So... And there's plenty of points in this Ballina team. As I mentioned, Crossy, there was about 7 or 8 occasions where they scored 50.
Yeah.
And they've only had one loss. Other than that grand final loss, they've only had one loss throughout against Moorlambar. That was in May last year. So.
Look at this.
And so this is going to be a nice run. He's only got one. As far as the foot race goes, he's beaten everyone, but he's going to be well taken there by Oliver Regan. Well run there by Roy Bell.
Great chase from Regan.
Getting about 35 metres on the fly. This will be now played here by Noah King. This is Rodney Collins. Ballina now have got their back line and defensive line all set. This is going to be taken up now by Hayden Pratt. 40 metres away from the Ballina line. This is third phase. This is I've got on my sheet here Thomas Walker there, but he's been put down as number 15 though. There's no 15 out there.
Yeah, they didn't give us a 14, so we do apologise to the Casino fans.
On the program it does say Thomas Walker, so apology if we got that
Good
wrong.
kick from Bolt.
Did something come out of that? No, just going to be called knock forward. So 20-metre restart now for the Ballina Seagulls.
Oh, what could have been there for the Cougars? I mean, they've gone 100 metres. This is just a carbon copy of the first half, isn't it? If a team comes up with an error, you see the other team penalise them by going 100.
The other thing that just crossed my mind here, Crossy, no pun intended, Do you think it could be a mental game, this being the first home game since that grand final defeat against the Raiders, and which, as I mentioned in that call, the Ballina, they come here, they host, and they always walk out the winners in the grand final day, but not getting beaten quite convincingly by the Tweed Coast Raiders. Do you reckon this could be just a bit of a mental game, being the scene, of course, of that dreadful defeat they had last year?
Yeah, look, there could be something in that. I think. There's a good run. He's been good this 14.
A nice run, that was Hayden Hansen.
He's been very strong, Hansen. I like the look of him.
The crowd's gone up here behind us. They really want Ballina to get on with the job now. They're down 10 points to 6. And as I mentioned, Crossy, Casino have only come up trumps once in the last 7 or 8 years. That's Jamie Lyon. The kick, it's going to be way too deep for Jamie Lyon's liking. And 20-metre restart now. Beck is out for Casino.
That's a really poor kick by his high standards, Jamie. He'll want that one back. But just back to your question, I think what can happen a lot, and I've seen a lot over the years when someone of the calibre of Jamie Lyon comes into the team, or whoever it is, an ex-NRL player, a lot of the younger guys around can get a little bit nervous. And look, that may not be the case, but I know myself, when someone of that quality comes around, you're just so fearful of letting them down, or just doing the right thing, and you can get a bit nervous with your footy. So perhaps there's a little bit of that.
That's true. Certainly wasn't the case for Byron Bay yesterday when Todd Carney was out there, but nevertheless, that is true, because Jamie Lyon, he was sort of waiting, even though he only came this year, he was sort of waiting in the wings in the past year or two that this was always going to be his future to play his latter years of football here for the Ballina Seagulls. Of course, he's been a resident of this area the last few years.
He has. He's settled nicely back into the Ballina area, living over there at Skinner's. So it's good to have him back around.
So that is Reece Richards taking it up. So this will be now Jamie Lyon to play his short side. And he's done well to get about another 10 metres out of that. I believe that to be, I think that was Kel Shiva. And it's going to be a penalty now for the Ballina Seagulls. They haven't been given too many penalties as of late either. So it's just Casino Cougars have been well disciplined to this point. And
really, if they don't come up with a try here, they're really looking for a repeat set. They just want to keep building some pressure, and in these hot conditions, make Casino have to make as many tackles as possible.
So as play restarts now, this will be Jamie Lyon. Through the hands, that's Crosby. Oh, that looked a little bit forward to me, but the referee's getting better down. That's Michael Dwayne on his left. And for me, if he had got the pass there, that was Anthony Coleman. If he had got the passes out a bit quicker, he might have had Michael Dwayne on the left side.
Here he goes.
Nicely taken, hit up, but well read in defence there by Thomas Walker. So they're about 5 metres out. This is going to be played up by Michael Dwayne. So it's going to be down by 10 metres out, third phase. Short side, Jamie Lyon. Just kind of got clipped. He's just handed that right back into Casino's hand. That is basically a Christmas present every day of the week, Crossy.
And that's just that lack of patience that we've alluded to from the Seagulls, that they're just trying to score on most plays. We saw Coleman come down this left edge here and show some good sort of patience and hang on to that ball rather than push the pass. But yet again, incomplete set for the Seagulls.
So Casino now have third phase. This going to the hands of Thomas Walker. Again, we want to iterate. That's what's on the programs here. So
yeah, we weren't given a number 14.
We weren't given 14 with a sheet, but there was no 15 out there. So nevertheless, so again, apologies if that is wrong, but this is Reece Richards. Does well to get in the centre field. There, Reece Richards are just about 40 metres away from the Ballina line. This is going to be taken out by Chad North, the try scorer from earlier. This will be now Jamie Lyon to play from dummy half.
Here's Regan.
Nice run there by Oliver Regan.
He's been almost their best sort of meter eater coming out of trouble. Really strong through the middle.
Yeah. So that's Jamie Lyon to being taken there 40 metres out from away from the Casino line. Going to go now through the hands into Phil Crosby. And once again, it's just, we're sounding like broken records up here, Crosby, but you forget as you're seeing it here, the Ballina's just handing it back, and they're handing it back right about 30 metres inside the casino half. So they basically just give them a leg up every time they do it.
Every time. And with this northerly blowing at the back of Roy Bell.
Okay, so there is number 15. That is Thomas Walker. So apologies there for earlier. We'll
try to find out.
Who that number 14 is. So, but that is Thomas Walker that has come on. So that's now going to be taken up there by Hayden Pratt. Going to go through the end. Oh, it's just well stopped 40 on their 40-metre line. The Casino Cougars.
That's good intent there from the big 17 from Ballina, rushing out of the line.
So that's through the hands. That's our Roy Bell.
Here he goes.
Goes himself, but he's just going to be a victim for his own feet there. Roy Bell just slips over, and Ballina will have it a set of 6, just shy of their own halfway line.
And good effort there from Jack Durham. He raced out to try to stop Bell or put some kick pressure on. Didn't make the tackle, but he did enough.
So it's 10 points to 6. Casino over Ballina. If you just joined us, no change to the half-time score. So this will be now Zach Beecher to play it just inside the Casino half a field. So through the hands, that's Chad North, brings it inside field. Well tackled there by, I believe that to be Theo Hippie. That's Beecher, passes it. Ballina just getting close. If they can just get to a set, that's all they need to do, Crossy. Set of 6 and points will come. This is going to be Beecher. Lyon was thinking about right, goes left, in back in the hands of Beecher. This is Crosby. So this is 5th and last. They're set for a deep side on either side. Lyon gets it. Oh dear.
Oh no,
it's
trouble.
just not happening today for Ballina, and they might. Oh dear. If they would have gone into the hand, like they're calling that for a knock on. Jamie Lyon's calling for knock on, and Ballina are finally going to get some fortune. Nick Morrissey's just come on for Casino.
He'll give him a bit of go forward, Morrissey. He's a big unit.
Now, if that had gone into the hands of, say, David Jackie or Roy Bell, they would have been in for all money there, Crossy.
Well, it shut the gate there. It was Theo Hippo, and he sort of initially thought he's away, and then the 40-metre mark arrived pretty quick, and so did the defenders, and he was looking for support, which wasn't forthcoming. Both teams, Dwayne, looking fairly under fatigue. It is a hot day, as we've said, and it's only round 2, so don't really have that match fitness. I was
just going to put my 2 cents in when it comes to regards. You're saying it was hot, so it's about high 20s today. It's certainly nothing what it was 2 weeks ago when we did our match day from Lismore. But I just have the opinion of that perhaps maybe in the first 2 or 3 rounds they could perhaps have either a Saturday night fixture or a Sunday twilight fixture, like maybe 5 o'clock, maybe even 6 o'clock kickoff. It's like players will be playing in these conditions. It's at the end of the day, it's player safety and welfare and official safety and welfare that comes into play.
Well, Byron Bay played Evans Head yesterday, didn't they? And that was a later start.
5 o'clock,
yeah,
about 5 o'clock. That's all they need to do.
Well,
that pass looked a little bit forward for me. But I think Josh Golan is going to give Ballina the benefit of the doubt, and there'll be some more fortune coming their way via Reece Riches. For me, it looked might have floated forward, but nevertheless, it is 10 points all here at Kingston Smith Park in Ballina.
Well, he sort of propped to pass, a left to right pass their line, and he realised that they quickly had rushed up, so he went back to his preferred right to left style pass and over the top, and was it Riches in the corner?
Reece Riches, that's correct.
Yeah, you can find the line, Reece Riches. He's a good young player, and as you said, he's been part of that Northern Rivers 23 squad for a couple of years now. So Ballina get back on the board and get to 10-all back on level terms with a kick to come, and really no team is showing it's their match to win at the moment. I mean, it's really going to come down, as I've said before, time in possession and play field position. I think that's where it lies.
That's true. So Reece Riches, that's already his second try for the 2019 season, scoring 1 against Kyogle 2 weeks ago in Kyogle. In his under-23s campaign this year, he scored 1 at Armidale against Grad Northern Tigers. He's a 2-time under-23s rep. In last year's campaign, Crossy scoring 2 tries against North Coast. I was there to call that one in Sawtell.
Yep.
They were both good tries. He's an ex-Lennox Head Dolphins junior, ex-Byron Bay Lennox Head junior as well. I think he played under-18s for Byron Bay as well, the Red Devils.
Okay, yeah. He's a good kid. I remember watching him in the grand final, actually, and in the semi-final series last year. They had Ali Grant at fullback, which meant Oliver Regan sort of played on the wing, are in the centres, and him and Richards swapped around a lot in defence and attack, and I thought he's a good player, so he's certainly a good option out on that right edge outside Jamie Lyon.
So this will be now Jamie Lyon to add the extras. And the kick goes up. It's looking promising, and it's just shy. Score remains 10-all, but not a bad. So at least in the kicking department, they're well covered with the loss of Andrew Batiste.
It just shows
not a bad replacement, eh?
Fairly handy replacement. He's kicked a couple of important goals in his career, but it probably doesn't do justice on the live stream on your TV or computer screens. The strength of that breeze. I mean, Lyon hardly even made the post, didn't it? That kick. So.
Exactly. So the breeze was coming from the south. So it basically just held the ball up and then sort of dropped. Sort of remind us how it was when I was down in Foster's Tuncurry last week for that first game. So we did 4 games, and the first game it was just windy, and I believe Thomas Weaver for Northern Rivers kicked it, and you could just literally see the ball hanging over the black dot for about a good 2 seconds.
And he can kick the footy, Tommy Weaver, so congratulations to him and the other
Andrew Johns Cup. They won the Andrew Johns Cup yesterday against Western Rams.
It's fantastic.
He'll now play his trade for the Moolumbar Mustangs, and what's happened here? No, this is going to be called played on. That could have been maybe a 50-50 call. But Ballina off the hook there for me, Crossy.
I think that's 50-50. I think that's probably fair. I think one went against them in the first half, so that might be 1-1 there. But they're finding it fairly easy coming out of yardage, the Seagulls. I mean, that's played 2 or 3. They're about to be on halfway, on the 40 rather. Here they go.
Yeah, so this is Reece Richards, the try scorer from earlier. And I think Josh Beach might have just put him over the sidelines.
Well...
So we can't really say that. What's happening here? No, it's going to be called a forward pass.
Yeah, Peter O'Connor on the far side there, called a forward pass.
Yep.
So
Casino now going to be given an absolute leg up, 30 metres away from the Ballina line. And so at 10 points to all, so we're about maybe a quarter into this second half. It's not. It'll be interesting to see if this does go to field goals. They would love to have Andrew Batiste out there today with the Ballina Seagulls.
Well, they've obviously got a fella called Jamie Lyon.
Yeah, of course.
But I'll tell you what, the other team's also got 2 blokes, wearing 6 and 7, who have kicked plenty in their career. So with the wind, if it comes down to field goal, I'm almost on the Cougars. Yeah,
well, I was just about to say that too, but as we saw with that kick, it's not the stiffest breeze, but it's an inconvenient breeze. It just picks up and then it just goes away. That's sort of how it's been going today.
That's a good way of describing it.
But nevertheless, we're back to live action here. That's Nick Morrissey with that latest hit up. Sorry, that was Hayden Pratt.
That might be Morrissey there, isn't it? No.
So that was taken in the tackle there by Nicholas Ritter. So they're about 30 metres out. They're going for the kick. It's going to go. They're aiming for... No. So I think Josh Gowan is going to call an offside in favour of Ballina, in front of the kicker. No, I believe Noah King, was in front of the kicker.
And that's a real shame for the Cougars. I mean, there's no excuses for that. If you're the winger, Roy Bell's the first receiver, there's no excuse to be offside, and he came up with a great take, and it would have been a try, but he's in front of his half, and now we've got, looks like Roy Bell and the lock forward having a chat. That's Pratt.
So I believe Roy Bell there is trying to plead his case with Josh Golan, but nevertheless, it's going to be Ballina having this one about, I think it's going to be just shy of their own 40-metre line.
And how often have we seen it today, Dwayne? Like, it could have been a try at one end, and then the other team sort of gone 100 metres.
Of course. Big hard driving tackle.
And we've got a penalty.
Yeah, so Roy Bell's going to be summoned by Josh Golan. Yeah, that's one of those 50-50 ones.
We want to get ready for a catch here, Dwayne. This could be
Jamie Lyon will be kicking it right to us. And he's actually not far off. It's going to go bang on the roof right over us. So Jamie Lyon, he'll be seeing the casino colours out today. He'll be reminiscing of his old Manly Seagulls days.
Yeah, it'll be good to see when they play Tweed Coast this year. The old Brent Kite versus Jamie Lyon. That will be a good...
that's Nicholas Reyes getting in the hands of Jamie Lyon. And he's trying to fend off 4 players. It's not going to happen for him.
And you can see their line. He threw the dummy because he knew Durham was under pressure, so he didn't want to push the pass.
This is Phil Cosby. Big hit up there by Phil Cosby.
Good tackle.
So 5 metres out. This will be the third phase. Goes in the hands of Jess Perry. And that's Oliver Regan. He's trying to find the gap. He's trying to find a Weaver gap. So close, Oliver Regan. But it's just, and you can see some comments in the crowd. They're saying he's going to end up the Shores Bay pub with it.
He was heading that way.
So they're playing the left side play. So this will be fourth phase.
They just wasted a tackle.
There's a deep, you can't see it on the screens here, but there's a deep left side play for Ballina. If they get it through some hands, they should get some points from it.
Great hands.
That's line. Jess Perry goes into the hands. I think that to be Anthony Coleman. And it's not going to happen for him on this occasion. Well defended there by the Casino Cougars.
And it was a great tackle there on Anthony Coleman. He's their big threat there. I think if Perry throws a dummy, he might come up with a try himself there, but he played Coleman and Casino were good enough to hold him out. But now they've got to ruck it out of their own end, which they haven't been great at today.
So that was Collins there on that first phase. And that's lost out of the hands of Casino. Play on, well taken there by Anthony Coleman. This is now, let's see what Ballina can do. Oh, that for me could have gone backwards. Now, it'll be interesting to see, well, Josh Golden's going to call double knock on, and it's going to be interesting to see if there's any advantage played from it or not. He's calling that maybe a straight knock on against Ballina. Or, well, let's see what he calls here. No, he signals straight knock on for Ballina. He reckons advantage has been played.
Yeah, well, it's hard to disagree. I mean, as far as metres gained go, it's almost the same spot on the field as where the Casino knock on.
But he passed it for a set of hands. I believe that is to be the rule.
Exactly. If the reality is, if Sheether catches it, it becomes a 2-on-1 and they probably score. Richards has got his second try. So I'm happy with that call.
So 10 all there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard. Trust you enjoying the coverage wherever you may be watching on MGM Sports, Mark Goff Media, for round 2 action of the NRRRL. Of course, being proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes.
And good run there from Noah King. That's what they need. Get their little fast outside backs in to help the big middle forwards.
I was just saying that Crossy Aselki Tonga has come back onto the field for the Casino Cougars.
Well, they need his go forward on there.
This will be played then by Clive Hickling. And he spilt that. It's gone back in the hands of Michael Dwayne. Now, Michael Dwayne from centre, obviously covering a number of his games across the country championships and the final series last year. Played from lock, played from wing for the country. Well, played country under 23s as well. So played in the wing for that and lock. So do you reckon there may be a positional change coming from Jamie Lyon to perhaps getting back in those positions? Because for me, I'd like to see him a bit more ball for a centre as far as playing in the centres.
Yeah, he just needs his hand. Oh, here goes Beecher.
That's Beecher. Nice run by Zach Beecher. If he can score him, it's him. He does get over the line there, Zach Beecher. And Josh Gollan is going to acknowledge that. Zach Beecher gets himself back on the score sheet in front of the home crowd, in front of the faithful Ballina crowd, and gets Ballina back in front at 14-10.
Great little play there from Zach Beecher. That's what they needed, the Seagulls. Playing through that middle third, you know, every time they go wide, they seem to come up with an error. So they just need to build some confidence and play back through that middle third. Casino are tiring through there. They've shown that with their lack of ability to come out of their own end. So good run from Beecher, and Ballina, they should push out to 16-10 here. So
Zach Beecher, what a performance from dummy half to in front of what is his first game back in Ballina colours on home turf. He's had an impressive under-23s campaign to boot as well.
Just getting back to Michael Dwayne there. Dwayne?
Yep.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, that's 1-1, one each.
So he's 1-1. Yeah, he's such a good player, Dwayne. I mean, they really need him. I know he's a presence out in the centres, and he's actually a go-to to sort of for his half to play outside Coleman. But the way this game's going, the joy is through that middle third. So
of course.
For mine, either leave him in the centres and get your half sort of coming across field and playing him back through the ruck, or actually get him into playing lock forward and playing through the middle.
Of course, that's actually a late positional change too. So on the programs here, he was actually slotted in at 13 to play his normal position at club level at lock. But when we confirmed the lineups about 10 minutes before kickoff, he was slotted into the centres. So
it did surprise me because I spoke to Jamie Lyon a lot during the off-season, and they were struggling for forwards, particularly middle forwards like front rowers. So I thought with that we'd definitely see Dwayne in lock as he puts that through.
And the breeze ain't going to hinder Jamie Lyon on this occasion. Thus now making the score 16-10 on the Ladbrokes scoreboard.
The try was converted by number 6.
I know Lyon was concerned Ritter might not be back this year, just with some travel commitments. So it's great to see him back, and a couple of their guys off the bench today, Ballina, have been strong. Particularly the 14 that we've touched on a couple of times. Hansen, is it?
Hayden Hansen.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with him.
So that was the actual. That's another being a positional change there too, because Billy Dwayne was actually originally slotted on the programs here. That's I dare say that's Michael Dwayne's brother. Billy Dwayne stood out in the under-18s Ballina squad from last year that won the grand final. So he's actually been a late omission off this team sheet too. So it'd be interesting to see how the younger Dwayne goes.
Yeah, looking forward. Obviously, we called that under-18s grand final last year that Ballina convincingly won.
Yes.
So I was hoping to see some of that 18s progress up into this first grade team this year, which no doubt they will at some point.
I think there was a few players though from that 18s that moved on to the Gold Coast Rugby League, or it's even Intrust Super Cup, and there was, even Jordan Sly was one of those players. He actually was playing for Evans Head yesterday. So there's been a few players from that under-18s who played. Kyan Roberts Laurie is another one. He's now playing for Byron. So.
Yep.
He's been now graduate into first grade, so they've lost a few heads from that team, but nevertheless, that as Ballina is always going to be thereabouts with their juniors. They have one of the best local juniors in the competition, if not like in the Northern Rivers or the North Coast in general.
Yeah, they certainly do. I think that's 3 in a row, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3 in a row. That's correct.
Year. We've actually got young Matty Buttonshaw up in our Gold Coast Titans development system up there, and
he played in that Northern Rivers squad last year.
Yeah, he's a great kid, Matty, and he's injured at the moment, but doing some work with him, and he's just a pleasure to coach. He's another Ballina junior, so certainly strong. And just getting back to the footy, that's the first set of 6 that Ballina has actually completed in some while. And good to see it straight up on the back of points, so that will do their confidence a world of good.
So we're about halfway into the second half, 16-10 if you just joined us in favour of Ballina. Having to get 2 back-to-back tries to get themselves after a little day. Oh, what's happened here?
It's hit the corner post.
It's hit the corner post. So that's going to be 20-metre restart now.
That's 7 tackles. So that's a huge difference. I mean, if that goes into touch there, potential 40-20.
So Ballina are just starting to get themselves back on the front foot in this game. Cause it's like for me, Crossy, you picked up on it that Casino's starting to just fade away just a tad. Yeah,
Casino, they really need to complete their sets, and things like that just don't help their cause, quite obviously.
And for me, like, whilst it's only still a converted try, so it only just takes. Well, as you just said, that last set of 6 was the only one that Ballina completed some time. So they. I mean, it only takes a few minutes of football for it to just go unfortunate for Ballina and go back. So it's been a seesaw battle the whole game.
It has. You see Beecher just duck out a dummy half there. That's where the joy is, through that middle.
But Ballina is basically just grinding it out, just forcing Casino to play their first phase deep inside their own half. So if they're not scoring points, they're making sure that Casino play deep inside their own half. And then I guess what they got to do is just keep the discipline. And I guess, just the other thing that they need to do, finish a set of 6, and they've got this game wrapped up.
Well, they've just done that 2 sets in a row now, both on the back of Jamie Lyon kicks. The first one we saw was a good bomb taken on their 10-metre line, and then that one there just rolls one into touch 10 metres out. So Casino, last time they had a scrum coming out of trouble here, we saw actually Roy Bell chance his arm with a long pass and a little wraparound, and he ended up running 60 metres. So let's see what happens this set.
So nicely read in defence there by Jess Perry. So this will be second phase, 10 metres off their own line. That's Roy Bell that's taken the hit up there.
I think that's Jackie.
Sorry, David Jackie.
Yeah.
So they're playing off to the hands of Clyde Hickling. So 30 metres out on the third phase of play. This will now be Hickling once more. That is Bell. Into the hands of Bolt and back into the hands now of Tonga.
Tonga straight at Jamie Lyon. It's a good matchup out there. Lyon handled him on that occasion.
So 40 metres out, they're about 5 metres inside field. This is going to be Bolt into the hands now of Josh Beach. Ballina doing really well in defence now, so Casino will probably see one. Well, they won't see another phase because they've absolutely kicked that high. It's going to be great in the hands of Oliver Egan.
Great take.
Nicely take there by Oliver Egan. And he's run about 40 metres on the fly there. Oliver Egan beats about 2 players, but he's absolutely crunched in the tackle.
Big tackle, Trevor Bolt.
Trevor Bolt just absolutely crunches Oliver Egan into the turf.
He's been outstanding, Regan, in this second half. He's been the guy that's really gotten Ballina going in their sets.
So that was Chad North that played in the hands of Sheaford from dummy half. This is now, I believe that to be Phil Cosby.
I think that's Durham.
Sorry, Durham. That's Jamie Lyon. That is Beecher. Nice
Appreciate
run by
that.
Beecher.
Jamie Lyon.
And he's got in the hands of Jamie Lyon. This is what the crowd wanted to see. They wanted to see Jamie Lyon and his first game in Ballina colours at Kingston Park get on the score sheet, and Josh Gollan will put that in the record books.
It looks like the old bloke's cramping up out there. He's about 48 years old, and he's probably hasn't drunk enough water last night. He probably had a couple of quiet schooners before today. But on a serious note, put that down to Ollie Regan. It was a great take. It was a big kick from Roy Bell, and as the crowd goes up for Jamie Lyon.
20 points to 10 now, Ballina over the Casino Cougars here at Kingford Park in Ballina.
But you can see, Dwayne, what a difference it makes if you've got a fullback catching the ball on the full. I mean, he basically brought that back to halfway, and then they're off and running.
And you can just hear there in the crowd that a high applause, a standing ovation there for Jamie Lyon. I can actually hear a few more applauses a little bit further south down the coast. I'm talking about Lake Macquarie Central Coastway. That would be my auntie Judy, big Manly fan. She's a big
Jamie Lyon.
she was telling me though how much of a Jamie Lyon fan she is, and I'm quickly reminded every time Manly beat Brisbane. So Judy and the family down there, I hope you're enjoying the coverage.
She got a lot of joy out of that.
Yeah, she will be. I can hear her now. She'll be up there playing ball. I think she'll be watching the replay because my cousin Andrew is playing 200 games down there, so she'll be catching the live stream later on the replay.
And you can see we've got a changing kick here. Ollie Regan's going to line this up because the old bloke line is stretching his calves. So he's looking to put them out to 22 to 10, and it'll be hard going for the Cougars to come back from this.
And that's a nice kick. It's
missed
just
it.
going to be shy. So 20 points to 10 in favour of Ballina. Sorry, Cressy. I was just going to say with Jamie Lyon, look, I've seen a few games of him in the NRRRL when he's playing for Manly, and I never thought if sitting there would I be actually applauding his try, because he'd be playing in for Manly, New South Wales, all the teams that I just love.
It's just great. It's just great to see blokes of his calibre, like him and Carney, actually playing in the comp here. You know, it's terrific for country footy. Obviously, creates a bit more interest, as we can see by the numbers through the gate here today.
Yeah, so good turnout today and I believe Ballina are at home next week as well. I can't confirm that, but I think they've got Mullum next week. Anyway, that's next week, but we focus on live action here today. Nicely taken up there by, I think that's Phil Cosby.
The Casino need to be really careful here. They've got to respond positively. They're still in this game. It's still within 10 points. But as you can see here, they're already starting to fall off some tackles, being ineffective, and they jump from dummy half. See, that's where it's at. I said a few moments ago, the middle third is where it's at the moment.
So that was Beach taken there in the tackle. And Ballina done well to get it to the 40-metre line. So there's a deep left side play, but they're a little bit scrappy in the back line there. That's Jamie Lyon taken.
And you can see Regan screaming through on the inside, looking for an inside pass from Lyon.
So nicely taken up.
Goes Ritter.
No, sorry, by Ritter. And Ballina are now going to get really on with this now. That could almost be the one that decides this round 2 fixture here in Ballina. Ballina now 24-10.
Oh, it's a shame for the Cougars because they've been better than that today. They've been right in this match, but I had concerns. I said it only a moment ago that middle third, just their body language is quite poor, and their how they sort of were trying to overcome adversity there on the back of a couple of quick tries, and unfortunately they've just let another one in. Good charge from Ritter, and had good support up the middle on the inside.
So that was Hayden Hanson that scored that one for the Ballina Seagulls.
Well deserved. It's been enormous this afternoon, and everything he's done has been very busy, a lot of energy, and quite a tough guy to tackle by the looks of it. He's a bit of a handful. So
Hayden Hanson, so he's actually a late transfer from the Burleigh Bears on the Gold Coast League. So this was only, when I say late, so basically in the last month or two, 2011-12 played for Redcliffe Dolphins in the Mal Meninga and Cyril Cup competition. Played for the Intrust Super Cup for Redcliffe in 2011 and 17. And I'm just, when I was doing my notes on him, and if it happened to be the same player, but I've got here that he was an ex-Winton Lions in the UK. So
okay.
So I don't know if there's another Hayden Hanson or if that's him, but according to that profile when I looked him up, it's all tied in together. So
we'll obviously try to confirm that, but good to see some new or some different faces coming into the NRRRL competition this year.
So if there's anyone of Hayden Hanson's family watching this, if you could confirm that, that would be great. I think there was an ex-Super League player in this squad too. Try and get his name here. I think that was he was actually starting. Andrew Bracek, I think he is. I haven't seen much of him today, but nevertheless. So Jamie Lyons' kick there was unsuccessful, thus making the score now 24 points to 10 in favour of Ballina.
Bit of fatigue setting in there for Lyon. It's been obviously been a while since he's played, but as we said, great for Country Rugby League that he's here today. And I'll just say for the Cougars' sake, they can finish this game strongly here. I mean, they're still playing footy. A short kick off here.
So it's starting to get a bit desperate times, desperate measures now for the Casino Cougars.
They need to respond quickly here, Dwayne, don't they?
Yeah. So that was Brent Scott Hall getting into the hands of Elseki Tonga. Well brought down there by the latest try scorer, Hayden Hanson. So you think Casino, they need to be the next one to score without a shadow of a doubt. And it would almost sort of have to come from this set of 6 because we're now starting to get into point of minute territory. This will be Kickling through the hands into, that's Nick Morrissey. So they're about 10 metres away from the Ballina line. That's through the hands of Bell, into the hands now of Bolt. Nicely taken in the tackle there by Daniel Johnson. And yeah, they're a little bit flat for me on that right side there, Crossy. I really would like to see him spread a bit more spread out and look a bit more excited when you're about 10 metres away from the try line. This will be 5th and last.
See if they run this.
That's Bell, kicks it across the carpet. And, they might have, dear, they were very lucky there, Ballina. I think that had Oliver Regan beat for pace. Chad North beat for pace. And then all it took was, it was only because the hand didn't quite ground the ball that Casino didn't get themselves back into this game.
So, obviously, Casino looked like they were last to touch it. Did they nearly grounded it? But it's,
yeah. He might have just completely air-swinged it.
Yeah, could have been dead already, potentially. But
I wasn't looking on the monitors here. I was looking far, from long vision, and I guess Josh Collins has said that he's taking an air swing.
Where they looked best in the first half of the Cougars was when we had Trevor Bolt passing to Roy Bell. So let's see if they can get to a far post.
So that is Roy Bell. Into the hands now of Jackie. Nicely taken in the tackle there by Nicholas Ritter. So Hickland, he's got Nick Morrissey on his right there. And that's exactly who he's going to be using. That is Morrissey. Does well to get right in centre position there, 10 metres out from the Ballina line. Gets into the hands of Ship. This is Tonga. Back in the hands of Ship. And I think, just toying there with the sideline, but so this will be third phase. Through the hands, that's going to now be Bolt. Into the hands now of Pratt. Pratt likes the, he's charging for the line, Hayden Pratt. So close, but had to take some outstanding Ballina defence to keep him back. That's gone backwards. This is Bell, kicks it. He's been kicking all day, been doing well. He's just collected his own kick, Roy Bell. And I think he might have got points from it.
Well, that's what he can do, Roy Bell.
Roy Bell has got himself a try off his own kick. And you could almost say now it's game back on now at 24 points to 14.
Yeah, and a big rap to the back rows there. I mean, Michael Ship, he's been absolutely tireless today. He's just tried his heart out. And I really like the 13, Pratt. He's been a handful every time he's carried. Nearly got over there before Bell got the ball and put a grubber through him for a try.
So Roy Bell, whether the Casino Cougars come up trumps and get this deficit of 10 points back, or if they just fall short, it's Roy Bell deserves to be on this try sheet today. And so just as he kicks his own try there, makes it successful at 24 points to 16 on the Ladbrokes scoreboard. You can see there. Ex-Mullum Giant, as I said last year, played some footy for Northern United. 2015 he played for the South Grafton Rebels, and he represented a country rep level for the NRRRL through 2011, 12, 13, 14 and 16 campaigns.
He's been a very good player for a long time, Roy Bell, in this competition, and yeah,
very handy pickup to come back home to Casino.
Absolutely, it's noticeable his presence out there with this casino team. I mean, they got a lot of footy in the casino, but they just need a bit more respect for the ball, and they've had to do too much tackling here today. So let's hope for their sake that hasn't taken too much out of them.
So Casino back within 8 points from Ballina. Trust you enjoying the coverage wherever you may be watching across MGM Sports, Mark Goff Media, on the YouTube page, and of course via the NRRRL Facebook page. So this will now be David Jackie to play it from dummy half, about 30 metres out from the casino line. And Ballina, that's Michael. I think that's Michael Dwayne. No, it's not.
Looks like Jack Darn.
No, that's it. No, that's he's two got inconsistent boots. One orange, one white, white one. So could have been forgiven there to thinking that's Michael Dwayne. He's not the only one wearing different coloured boots.
And there's Michael Shipp, second carry out of the first 3 plays.
So whilst Casino have just got themselves back in this game, for me, then there's got to be a bit more creative. That's Roy Bell. He's kicked more than he's run today, Roy Bell. It paid off for him in the last occasion.
Yeah, but look at that positional play from Regan.
That's a nice run there by Oliver Regan. He's just absolutely barraged down by Brent Scott Hall. So Lyon gets the pass away.
Here's Coleman.
Yeah, nice run by Anthony Coleman across the sideline. Brings it back in.
How often do you see? He always breaks the first 2 tackles, Coleman. He's very underrated.
So this is now Michael Dwayne. Nice run, beats about 3 players, Michael Dwayne. And, he's almost got away with it, but he's just going to be tugged back into the turf. He's firing up, Michael Dwayne. Bit of pushing and shoving there. That's Hayden Hanson. Wants to get himself a deuce. They're about 8 metres away now from the casino line, through the hands of Lyon. Back into the hands of, I think that's Phil Cosby.
Oh,
back
ball.
in, nice. Kel Shiva spills that over. Catches that, they score for me. And that's full time. I think that's full time there, Crossy.
I think it is.
You'd be forgiven, we don't have a clock here. That was the quickest second half of football I think I've ever watched or called.
Well, congratulations to the Seagulls. That makes it 2 from 2 to start the season. And the start that captain coach Jamie Lyon would have been looking for. But Casino can really hold their heads up. I noticed they lost.
That was a bit of an effort.
It really was an effort, mate. They lost Theo Hippoy in that second half. I just thought the lack of respect for the footy meant had to do too much tackling, which sort of wore them down in the end. And yeah, it could have been a different story today, but it
100%.
wasn't.
So whilst a bit of a shaky start for Ballina in the first half there, they come back and they get themselves back into winning form, and their first win back on home turf since that grand final last year against the Tweed Coast Raiders. Who was your pick of the players today, Crossy?
Oh, look, a tough one. I really like the 14, as I mentioned before. Jansen, was it?
That was, Hayden Hanson.
Hayden Hanson, sorry. My apologies. Hanson. I thought he was good. Look, Anthony Coleman, every time he touched the ball, as I said, he always broke a couple of tackles. Zach Beecher really broke the game open in an important stage.
I think he basically got the momentum back for Ballina with that try there underneath the sticks. But for me, Oliver Regan, when he scored that first try and basically getting Ballina into position to score those tries, he said he's an absolute meter eater and he's up for big things for the 2019 campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. He's back to his preferred position of fullback, Regan, and as you said, mate, you're spot on. He sort of changed the game in that second half with his positional play and his carries on play 1.
Crossy, it's an absolute pleasure having you back in the box, and I can't wait to be back with you throughout the 2019 campaign.
Thank you, mate, and congratulations to you on getting this up and running with the NRRRL. It's
a team effort. It's a team effort across the park, but
it's a great thing. So I look forward to the season. It's going to be a good one.
So, as you can see there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, Ballina are victorious, 24 points to 16 over the Casino Cougars. So for all the team here, for the NRRRL, Mark Goff Media, Nathan Cross, I'm Dwayne Neville. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you this action. We'll be back with you for the next week of action. Have a good afternoon.